Welcome back to Bevs with Celebs. This is part 2 of a 2-part episode with Peking Duk's Reuben Styles. But I did hear from a little duck, aka Adam, that you were in and you had a run-in with the Cartel.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I was very interested to hear this story.
Oh yeah, this story is actually pretty insane, I'm not going to lie. We had a show in somewhere in America. It was a pool party show, as many, after the EDM thing went crazy in America, like in 2015, Adsy and I were getting booked for so many random pool parties. Like Phoenix, for example, was one of those places where you could get booked for a pool party every week there. There was like...
Should I cut out the word Phoenix?
No.
It's all good? Okay.
No, this story didn't happen in Phoenix. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just saying like the pool party culture over there for like Vegas and like Phoenix, anywhere there was casinos like and resorts and stuff like that. And even like Scottsdale, Arizona, anywhere that it was hot, pool parties in the daytime, they just wanted EDM pumping at all times. And yeah, it was funny. There was one pool party somewhere in the States and Adsy and I went to play at it. And so I've just got to stress enough. This location is very non-specific because I just cannot share the location. But yeah, we got booked to play a pool party and it was really fun. And there was like a soccer game on at the time. Once again, if I mention exactly what the game is, you could figure out where we were. So I'm not going to mention what the game was, but two countries were versing each other, and let's just say this pool party was beautiful. After our set, this guy goes, "Hey, come watch the game with us in my cabana," and so I went down with Adsy. We went to he had a cabana at the pool party, and he had this soccer game on the TV. And it was very important to him. His country was playing, and so we were like, "Yeah, cool." He was like, "Man, that was a great show." And we're like, "Oh yeah, thanks, man." He goes, "So, we're gonna party tonight?" And I was like, yeah." And then I was like, "I don't know, like, I guess so." And he goes, "Have a tequila." And so, as you know, we're nice guys. We had a tequila with this guy, and then we're like. Went back over to the promoter and the promoter was like, "Oh, that guy like owns, like a lot of big things. Like he's very, very important. So like if you get on his good side, who knows? He owns a bunch of clubs and stuff like that. Like we're like, oh, sweet. This is like literally what Adam and I do best. All right, let's just make best friends with the guy and he'll book us for a bunch of shows in the future." This is like how Peking Duk almost, to be honest, first started in Australia. Before we had any song success, we were relying on promoters booking us because we could party with them. And like they loved us coming to party with them. So like I remember we moved to Sydney, but most of our gigs were in Melbourne. And because all the promoters in Melbourne we became best mates with and they just wanted us to come down and hang out.
A lot of Revolver, I'm assuming?
Stuff like Revolver.
Yeah.
But there was like 100 clubs in Melbourne at the time.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. And all the clubs had different promoters. All those promoters, they didn't care if you did 4 shows a night in Melbourne. In Sydney, if you had a show in Sydney that night, you weren't allowed to play anywhere else like that
Exclusive.
whole weekend. Yeah, it was so crazy. So although we moved to Sydney, most of our gigs were in Melbourne around like 2012 and like end of 2011 and
that's where the music is.
And even in like 2013. Yeah, literally it was crazy. So we're like, yeah, okay, we got the brief. We can do this. We can get down on this real easy. So we went back over to the guy in the cabana and he goes, "My boys, let's have another tequila." And we're like, "Yeah, 100%. And then he goes, "Hey, you want to see something?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he showed us this crazy gun that he had down his pants made of gold. And he was like pure gold. I'm like, oh, is that like a real gun? And he's like, yeah, man, of course it is. I'm like, oh, Jesus. All right. This is hectic. I'm not liking this at all. But then I'm like, you know what? It's America. Everyone's got a gun, right? That's normal. It doesn't mean he's not normal.
In denial.
And so we're like, yeah, cool. That's like, of course, everyone has a gun. We're in America. And so, went over, we just hung out with him, and he goes, oh, we're going to have a little party later. And then, so we go to this party, and I'm not going to say it wasn't at his house, but it was at someone else from the club's house. And there was a whole fruit bowl of guns at the front door. And I was like, oh my God, is this actually a thing? Like, and then,
so they're just turning in their guns at the front door.
yeah, it's like, he goes, yeah, it's a gun-free party. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't vibe with guns, man, at my parties. I was like, oh, and in my head I was like, okay, no, he's anti-guns. He's on our side. He likes the idea of us all just having fun without guns. But there was 30 guns in the fruit bowl, and I was like, man, what are we doing here? It felt pretty crazy. And then there was this moment where some girl had like started freaking out, and like it looked like she was ODing, and like I could see the guy whose house it was get mad at her and like fully like get some security guard to like get her out of there. And it was like, I was like, oh, shouldn't we like call like the hospital or something? And he was like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, I don't know. And it was like, okay, there's just all these things happening left, right, and center that's making me feel like a little bit like we're in some serious company right now. And I'm not sure if it's, if we should stay too much longer. But then the club owner, kind of big dog, goes, guys, let's go to my club. And we were like, oh, cool, that'll be easy. We'll just go there and then have a drink with him and then leave. Like much easier than leaving this is hectic being at an apartment. And by that stage, the soccer game was over. And so everyone was like, yeah, all right, cool, let's all go. And so they had these limos come and get us and take us to the club. And we get to the club, and it was, just like any other club, but it had like 500 people waiting out the front to get in. And we just walked straight through with everyone. And he's like, yeah, welcome. This is my club. And we're like, yeah, sick. Like, cool. Get in there. And we get in, and it was kind of cool, It was like kind of like any other kind of Vegas style casino style nightclub. Like it was just, lots of people with private booths that they'd paid for with bottles and stuff like that, It's so funny, like that in Australia just would never exist. Like, I mean, it did, and it does in a few places, like maybe
like Gold Coast.
I was about to say Goldie probably has heaps of that. But it's just like, yeah, it was one of those kind of joints. And the guy was like, yeah, come sit with me. And he's like, it's like, yeah, man, you're set. I was just loving it, blah, blah. And we're like, cool, this is the good stuff. And we're like, man, well, happy to come spin some tunes anytime. Like, and even going as far as saying like, just book us, man. Like we'll come. You just put the booking in, we'll be there. And he was like, man, I will definitely. Like, and we're like, nice. And then, and then he goes, do you guys want some rack? And we're like, well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. And we're like, well, what do we do now? And then we're like, we'll just be nice and we'll say yes. And look, not even implicating ourselves, because like this happened so long ago and we were kids, and it was, it was the owner's nightclub. He wanted us to do it. And we're like, righto. And so we're like, yeah, we'll give that a go. And he goes, yeah, cool, just follow my guy. And so we followed this guy. He took us out the front, and I absolutely shit you not, he went up to the police officer woman running the door and just tapped her on the shoulder, and she just opened a drawer. Like she had it all like the guest list and things like that, but on a wooden block, and then like opened up like a drawer and just put it in his hand. And he goes, all right, boys, back
Crazy.
inside. And like he gave it to us. We're like, oh my God. So it's once again,
Different world.
didn't feel like we were the bad guys, by saying yes. It was like the cops were involved. This guy was involved. Like it was this nightclub. Everything just felt crazy. And then he was like, literally just was like, man, have fun, boys. And we're like, cool, we're off the hook. And then some other guy walks into the club, and he had also seen the set, and he goes, you two, are you the Australians that were playing at the pool? And we're like, oh yeah. Did you see the set? We're like, oh, thanks. And then he goes, oh guys, that was crazy. That was so fun. Oh, you guys are awesome. And he goes, do you want a cigarette? And we're like, yeah, sure. And then he just lit one in the club, and we're like, oh man, I don't know if we could smoke in here. He goes, no, I can smoke anywhere. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then the nightclub owner was like looking at the guy, and he goes, oh God, someone is, it's clearly, he's like, this guy is just going to light a smoke in my club, and it's a non-smoking venue. Like, and so the guy gives us a cigarette each, and he goes, here, and tried to light him. And I'm like looking at the nightclub owner going, I can't smoke in this guy's club. He already told me before, like, you can't smoke in here. But then this guy's trying to tell me to smoke. And I'm like, I can't smoke. And he goes, smoke this cigarette. I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. And then I look over at the club owner, and I thought he was the biggest gangster in the world. He had like a golden gun. And he looked over and he's like, yeah, just do what this guy says. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like literally, Adam and I are like smoking this cigarette that this guy just gave us. It felt so weird. And then he goes, come over to my spot. And he had this like the biggest table in the place. And then I realized, all his friends that were there with him, I was like looking at Adzi. I'm like, wait, are they his friends or are they his security detail? There's like 8 of them. And then Adam's like, definitely his detail. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. This guy that we've just met, he's just made us smoke in this club that you're not allowed to smoke in, but he's allowed to do anything. He's also got 8 freaking bodyguards next to me. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, this guy's like a big dog. And he, in the middle of the club where like you cannot, do drugs in the middle of any club, anywhere. He just does like just straight on the table, and he's in the middle. Yeah, everyone can see him. And he's just like tips some out onto the table and just does it like it's nothing. And it was like, holy dooly, who the hell is this guy? But he loved us. And here's the weird thing. And we were like, and he kept saying like, he was like, oh boys, it's so cool. So cool meeting Australians, blah, blah, blah. Like lovely guy. And he was really passionate about, our set before and in Australia. He just wanted to chat. And there was a moment where his wife was looking at Adam, and there was a moment where he said to Adam, do you like my wife? And Adam was like, yes. And he's like, do you want to hook up with her? And Adam's like, oh, nah, wouldn't know. And he goes, I want you to hook up with her.
Oh my God.
And that was the moment where it was like, oh man, you're like so damned if you do and so damned if you don't now.
Run the other way.
And so I was like, I got to pee. Adzi, do you want to go for a pee? And we went and hit the can, and we're like, I'm just in the bathroom. I'm like, dude, that guy's like 100% like the biggest mafioso boss, like, I don't know, maybe cartel kind of looking guy. Like, he is that the club owner owns like, a bunch of clubs. That's crazy. This guy like might own the whole city. Like this and like, oh God, it was so crazy. We're like, and now he's asking you to hook up with his wife. Let's get the hell out of here.
Now's the time to go.
We absolutely just pinned it from the bathroom straight out. We're like, we cannot ever, ever, ever like come back to that club, and we cannot meet that guy. It was just like, holy dooly. And
So you never saw them again?
never saw them again.
Wow.
And it was just, oh God, it was such a crazy experience. And but it was funny because it was a beautiful experience too, because everyone was just like, just so lovely. But it was like, the charm didn't outweigh the amount of guns we saw, didn't outweigh the person we saw OD and then get absolutely like screamed at and then kicked out. Like, and then
Insane.
it didn't outweigh that, there was this crazy mob boss, mafioso cartel dude who had 8 bodyguards and was asking Adam to hook up with his wife. It was just it was so crazy. We were just like, all right, let's get the hell out of here right now.
Yeah. I don't even know how to transition on from that story. It's insane.
Oh, it was an insane time. I might need another bloody better beer after that.
Yeah, you
Just
want me to grab you one?
reliving that. Yeah, no, I can get it.
So we're back.
What's up, what's up, what's up? G'day.
G'day. I feel like you need to do more singing with that now. You've showed off your vocal skills. We need to see more of that.
That's an interesting sound.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like you should put that in one of your next
That could be like
songs.
like a flume sounding synth. Yeah, kind of a bit of a banger, actually.
Yeah, I'd listen to that on repeat.
That with a sub going would be sick.
I think so.
Not gonna lie.
And you have become a little bit of a singer with your new yoga project.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing songs with my voice. Not all of them actually, but a few.
A few. What sparked the yoga project for you? You're Only Great Always, for those who are listening.
That's right. You're only great always.
Y.O.G.A on Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah. Yoga with the dots. And it means you're only great always. How did it happen? It started when I was like 2018, 2019. I discovered the Red Dead Redemption video game. I think it was Red Dead Redemption 2. And it was very immersive. Just like this cowboy just traveling around this old Western world. And I don't think I just fell so heavily in love with that game. But even more so than the game, I fell in love with the soundtrack and I found myself listening to it all the time. And including like taking mushrooms and going for a walk, not illegal ones, just eating porcinis and then going for a walk.
Mushrooms and gravy.
Exactly.
Schnitzel on the side.
That's it. Yes. Some, portobellos, or maybe some gnocchis, and then some Swiss browns. Yeah. Yeah. You know
Very
what I'm
nice.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mushroom gravy. But, taking that soundtrack for a walk after eating a few regular supermarket mushrooms would feel amazing. And it was just such an adventure and a journey and, having that music, like walking out in the middle of nowhere, it was like, wow. It was actually life-changing. Like, and that soundtrack just still sticks with me. And so I was like, obviously wanted to find more music like it. And it was very Western, very, a lot of country and Western and a lot of Rhiannon Giddens, who, is an incredible banjo player. And I just had this huge thirst to find more mountain music, more music that I could take on, these beautiful journeys. And so I found more and more of this stuff. And a lot of it was, Southern country. A lot of it was Black American country. A lot of it was like, New Orleans country. And I guess I started falling in love with the sound, and then I was like, and some of it was kind of psychedelic as well. And I was like loving that sort of infusion of Western and psychedelic, but then, anything with a banjo. And so I was like, hey, I want to make some of this stuff. And I started like mucking around in the studio, creating some Western psychedelic songs. And I guess I had this, I had like an EP kind of ready to go. And, I teamed up with Future Classic, and next minute they were like, hell yeah, let's do it. And the first track was like a spaghetti Western song that turned into a disco track, and it was kind of psychedelic. And I guess, it all sort of spiraled on from there. That's how it started. Yeah, that song was Your Devotion.
And you've become quite known on TikTok for doing your dances out in the outback, out in the bush, laptop in hand, running amok. And you recently posted a video to Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, which you made a remix of, and that blew up. What was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, that literally just happened. That only just blew up just then. It's so crazy. I just saw it, the other day, and over 200,000 people have used that sound to make reels from.
Insane.
Which is
what, in like the
hilarious.
top 30 or something of the most popular sounds on Instagram.
Yeah.
As of like last week or the week before.
I think I managed to get a screenshot when it was at number 3.
Hell yeah.
Which was pretty nuts. Like that was, and that was, by that stage, it's hilarious. It's like we saw multiple videos had 15 or 20 million views using that sound. And it's like,
crazy.
Holy moly. That's the power of the internet. So when you think of like 200,000 reels, if each reel has, I don't know how to do maths, but it's like, imagine if each video had 20 million views, like that would be hilarious. But no, it probably averages at like 5,000, but still, that means a lot of people heard it.
And you were saying your friend looked up on ChatGPT what sounds are trending at the moment, and your sound popped up.
Oh my
she was
God.
telling you to use it.
Yeah,
ChatGPT
that's right.
was telling her to use it. Sorry.
Yeah. My friend Caddy from Canberra, she was like, "Wait, check this out. I just asked ChatGPT on ways to promote my business via Instagram, and it said, well, blah blah blah. You could do this, and then you could add a sound such as this, and suggested adding my sound to help grow her business." I was like, whoa, that's sick.
Crazy.
Also, I get to start again and live as if I'm someone entirely new to the industry, using methods that are new. Where with Duck, it's like it's there, it's established. We can do things in a more traditional way because we've got so many people watching already. So like learning with yoga about how to make yourself a little bit more discoverable, and how to find, a new audience and stuff like that. It's crazy. I'm loving it. And it's so cool knowing, that the music industry doesn't have to suck now, which is all you hear from anyone. It's like, oh yeah, no, the music industry, the whole thing sucks now. Well, it doesn't. It's just different. And you've got to find ways to make yourself discoverable, but everyone it's a level playing field now too. And everyone's in the same boat of like, discoverability and better yet, finding that audience. It used to be so different where like, I guess a lot of the Duck early success was based on whether Triple J picked us up or not. And like, it felt like that was a big part of, The Way You Are. When that got added to Triple J, that's what really fueled us again to keep striving until we got to High, like the song. So I think had Triple J not have added The Way You Are, which who knows, it could have been a 50-50 chance. Like it, which and a
Lucky
lot
they did.
A lot of people might have had songs that were great that Triple J might not have been able to have the time to listen to. Like it's just so different now.
How has your relationship with Adam changed now that you're both doing solo projects, your yoga project and his Kelly Holiday project?
Yeah, it's so good now. It's like I guess because we've now got more outlets. It's not like there was a lot of times where it was like, oh, but I want this song to get released because I'm in love with this song. But now we've got outlets. If we love a song, we can put out a song whenever we want. Like with Duck, I guess it was hard for a bit, and especially when we were chasing, that hot streak of hits, just constantly doing really, really well. I think we had about 8 songs in a row go double platinum, which that's insane.
Crazy.
So yeah, it was stressful, and we needed it to. It was not healthy as for our relationship, being constantly in that high pressure mode.
Yeah, I guess you're not just friends; you're business partners at that stage.
Yeah, literally. Where now it's like we're so far away from that stress now, and it's really beautiful. Like, and we've both got endless creative outputs. So then when we do get together, it's really fun and it's really exciting. And I guess also starting to work on our first ever album together. We started that like 2.5 years ago. That's been so fun as well. It feels like we're kids again, like working out the back of Adam's shed in Canberra. Like that was when it all started, and we were sort of like had no idea what we were doing, and that didn't matter. And it feels like we're back in that spot again. It's like, well, we're doing an album. There's no rules now.
What can we expect from the new album?
Well, you can expect to hear music that has been made from boys that just feel like kids, just not having any rules, just getting silly and having fun and not taking anything seriously and not worried. I think that's what you hear the most in this album is it doesn't sound like we're worried. Some songs might have, like earlier when we're trying to chase, good results, you are worried when you're trying to chase good results. And some songs you can hear that. Obviously, a lot of demos that we didn't release, you can hear that.
When you say you can hear that, is that following trends that are happening in music right now or certain patterns that make people enjoy current electronic dance music?
Yeah, 100%. Like doing things that sound a bit clinical or sound a bit like, after a key song might blow up, and especially in LA, like in Sweden, they would never do this. But like, I feel like a lot of LA sessions, they just try to make songs that sound like whatever's big right there and then. Where in Sweden, they're just like trying to make cool music, Yeah, there was just quite a lot. Like, it's so good that we had songs like, Wasted, where we literally had been in Sweden for 2 weeks and then went to London for a week of sessions after that. And we were getting wasted every night in London. And we literally did that song in like 4 hours amidst this huge bender almost. It was so funny. And the song feels like, we just don't give a fuck. And that was cool. But I guess like, this new stuff, it's very, very exciting. It's, we've put a lot of effort into it as well. But also, we are just new kids again at the drawing board again for the first time. And although we want things to sound like Peking Duk, it's definitely chapter 2.
And you're also on your Thrills tour, part 2 at the moment. And you're going to my hometown of Bathurst. Hello to the Bathurst people
I
watching.
thought it was pronounced Bathurst.
No, Bathurst.
Gotcha.
Okay. I was like, wait. Okay. Bathurst. So what can the country kids expect?
Well, an ode to Bathurst itself. I think Bathurst was one of those places we were playing quite a bit in the early days. There was a collective. I think they were called DK. Whoa! Okay. Shout outs Bathurst. DK crew, they were putting on parties and they were booking Duck all the time. In those early years before we'd had, The Way You Are and High and then the crazy shit going on, like they were believed in Duck. And so I'm pretty excited to head back there. I don't know when the last time we'd play. Might have been a DK party. I remember they did a beach in Bathurst. Like,
yeah,
they
1880 Hotel. They used to do that.
Created like a full sandy backyard. And then like the decks were sitting like 2 meters high. And it was like a really cool build. I feel like Jackson Carr, Deckhead, might have been a part of that crew as well. Not sure. But oh my God. Yeah. Bathurst.
Now we have Larry's Larrikins. They're the ones who are like the main party people in Bathurst.
Okay.
So I've heard.
All right.
But very
That's
exciting
good to know.
times.
All right. LL. We'll see.
LL.
We'll see what you're up to. I'm so pumped. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Surely we've done Bathurst since all that, but I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think you've been to Bathurst in like the past 2 or more years since I've known you guys. So it's probably been a while.
I'm thinking it's maybe been 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
let's go Bathurst.
Let's go Bathurst. Excited to have the Ducks.
Hell yeah.
And is there anything that you want to plug before we wrap up?
You know what? I want to plug plugs.
Hell yeah.
Remy, my little 2-year-old, he pulled a plug out of the bathtub yesterday. And I was like, man, you know exactly what that plug does. So shout outs plugs.
He's an engineer.
Yeah.
He knows what's up in the bathroom space.
Exactly. Yeah. He's going to be creating some crazy shit. If he knows how a plug works, man, what ain't he going to learn?
Yeah. IQ 150 plus. No further questions.
Yeah.
But
100%.
This is a question I ask all my guests on the theme of Bevs with celebs. If you're a cocktail, what cocktail would you be?
It's just the one that I order all the time. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to change it. The cocktail I order all the time, by the way, is the dirty martini with extra olive brine on the side. I love salt. Like real salty cocktails. It's a weird one. Savory cocktails.
Spicy mugs.
I love spicy mugs, but I think the dirty martini is the greatest thing in the world. And you know what? Spicy mugs are hard because sometimes they're the greatest. Sometimes they're a little bit miss. And when they're a little bit miss, far out. Also, I don't know if anyone has had, because it's really hard to find, but the daiquiri, like the
strawberry?
The classic traditional Cuban daiquiri.
Wow.
Really hard to find a good one in Australia. Anyway, that's a really nice cocktail bar, and this is going to be advice to all listening. If you're at a very nice cocktail bar, order a genuine proper daiquiri. It's very different to a frozen daiquiri. Nothing like it. But I had one at like Queen Chow on Enmore Road, and look, it was a Maryvale venue. Maryvale normally does things pretty good, but that daiquiri was too sweet. You've got to go to like a real crafty cocktail bar, like a special one. That I think might be the best cocktail in the world. But what cocktail would I be if I was one?
What cocktail are you, Reuben?
Okay, so you know how there's the cocktail Sex on the Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think the cocktail that I would be is called, and Sex on the Beach. It's just a happy thing. It's like that is a feeling. Like those words aren't anything but just a really like, oh, that's great. Like, what's better than Sex on the Beach? I'll tell you what's better. Kids in a cage where they can't escape. So
are you talking about Remy?
So when Remy's in a confined space and can't escape, and I can have a beer and watch over him, but knowing he can't run out onto a road, kids in a cage, that is going to be my cocktail.
Kids as pets?
Kids, not on a leash.
I've seen them. Have you
but
seen the ones with the leash backpacks?
Yeah, that's funny. But there's a few playground pubs, and where the kids literally can play, they can eat, they can drink, but they can't run out onto the road, and so you don't have to worry.
Hell yeah.
That's my sex on a beach.
That's incredible.
Kids in a cage. And it's not a cage, obviously. There's no roof. It's just like a fenced off area.
A playground that is enclosed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the cocktail I would be.
On that note, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. We'll do a final cheers.
Oh, yeah. Mine's over there.
Never mind.
I've got a...
We have a coffee.
You know what? I've got an empty one.
Woo!
All right. Cheers!
Cheers! Woo!
That was half a sip.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Bevs with Celebs. If you want more, check out our other episodes and head to our Instagram at Bevs with Celebs. And make sure to stream Yoga with the Dots on Spotify.
My party trick's gone. I have to go back to this one.
That is amazing.
The water drop. Wait, I've done better than that before.
It's pretty good.
Oh, there we go.
Cheers.
Hey, better beer. I like what you do. Send me a case or two, please.
Pretty please.
Wise words from Alan Jackson. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, I was at a fish market in Japan and someone ate some whale. According to them, it tasted like steak.
Interesting.
Yeah, like a cow.
Mm.
But I guess they're kind of like, they're bigger than cows.
Yeah, very big. They're very big.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, better bear. Hell yeah, better bear.
Someone get him off. Get him off.